All right, guys, so this is going to be the second episode in my learning series specifically targeted for Legiones. If you haven't seen the first one, link is in the description. I'll try figuring out how to put a link up here. That's about it. Watch that first one. We're just going to use that same intro for this one. We're learning Legiones. Last time we learned 1 and 2. This time we're going to learn 3 through however far I can get. So, as I mentioned today, we're learning Legiones, part 2, Tertius through question mark. I don't know how far I'm going to get, but I'm going to try and get somewhere. So, as usual, I start out in the Max Guild just for funsies for you guys, since I imagine a lot of people watching a guide on Legiones won't be maxed. We're going to head over back down here. This is really where you should be doing a lot of your PVMing from, because these teleports are really, really strong. So, let's go into my setup. Hey, it works all good. Nice. Okay, so for Tertius, we're starting out with Tertius. Effectively, our setup is going to be almost entirely the same in terms of our gear. What we're bringing in our inventory is basically the exact same. So what I'll do right now, just for you, is let's open the yak. Fill that bad boy with a lot of food. Okay, there we go. There's our setup. Basically the same as before. Your best gear, everything you can do. Fleeting boots and nightmare gauntlets, very important. Very, very good here. I don't mention it in my little text right here, but fleeting boots and nightmare gauntlets are very, very important because you need to move around a lot at Legios, especially at these later ones. You also might notice that my bar has changed. This is not the normal bar I'm using. It's not the one I was using last time. The reason the bar has changed is because I'm doing Tertius. With Tertius, what's important is you need to make sure to not deal damage to the Gladius that he spawns underneath him at, I believe, 58% HP. Let's open up our browser. There we go. All right, so we got our strategies. Zoom in a little bit just for you guys to be able to hopefully read it. So we've done Primus, basically no specials. Secundus, effectively no specials. Basically, he just attacks a little differently. That's about it. Primus and Sextus, or Sextus Secundus, very, very easy. Tertius is where it starts getting difficult. So he spawns units as his health decreases. So 3 Rarari at 75%, a Gladius at 50, and a Capsarius at 25. So this is where we start getting to something that requires at least a little bit more paying attention, trying to do things, trying to actually, put in some effort towards killing the boss. So basically what we want to do is not use AoEs in the later parts of the fight. So we want to use our AoEs early with like Corruption Shot and Bombardment, but we don't want to use them as soon as he hits 50, because if we aggro the Gladius, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with fighting Gladii, but when they're aggroed, they will immediately rush to you and stun you for a second. So if we damage them, they're going to rush to us and stun us. So basically, based on Micro's guide, what we're going to do is basically do a bunch of damage and then try to kill him as quickly as can once we hit 50 without aggroing the Gladii. Additionally, Capsarius will spawn, a single Capsarius will spawn at 25%. Now, Capsari are really easy to kill. You can just try and kill the Capsari if you want to do that. Generally, the easiest way to do it is to simply save something like Snapshot or another Threshold, and as soon as he hits 25% HP, just immediately try to kill him right there. So this is going to be a more difficult one than we've done in the past. This is more difficult than 1 and 2. We're going to give it a try. So that's about it. Obviously, I didn't mention this in the previous one, but if you need to get to Legiones, the easiest way to do it is to teleport to Uglog, and then it's right here. Obviously, if you go into the Ascension Dungeon, you can look at the map. There's the whole layout. I would highly recommend doing that the first time, getting a single kill, and then setting up your portal, because one thing that the portal does, which I find absolutely fantastic, I really love it, is you can see I've got my Tertius keystones. If we go into the portal, that'll send us to Tertius. It'll send us directly to the one that we want to go fight, which is fantastic. So we're going to go do that. As you can see, we're right here outside, well, not Scutarius, outside Laboratory Tertius. So let's sort of prep ourselves. You can see I have my EOF. I have a Dark Bow in my EOF. It's just, because I'm using dual wields, I don't have Dazing Shot and Salt the Wound. I haven't unlocked Greater Dazing Shot or Salt the Wound. I'm effectively making up for that by having an EOF Dark Bow. I'll see how it goes. I'll probably swap this around a little bit, but for now, let's get it. And we were able to kill him. Perfect. Okay, fantastic. So we were able to kill him without any spawning. It's a really fast kill. If you can't already tell, it happens pretty quickly. But basically, we're going to save our snapshot. I have mine bound to S, not because snapshot is S. It's actually kind of just a coincidence. But my snapshot is on S. So we'll spawn the Gladius. We don't care about the Gladius attacking us. Yeah. Okay. So we're taking a lot of damage because we're trying to pay attention to like 3 things here. But that's basically exactly what we need to do. Definitely taking a lot of damage here. I think if I'm going to grind any of them like to try and get boss pet, I'm going to try and grind Secundus. But, oh, that wasn't where I was standing when he started that attack, bro. Oh. I let him spawn one. Damn. Oh, we signed. Okay, so it's a little difficult. I think if you let him spawn the Capsarius, it'll definitely slow you down. We'll say that much. Okay, so that time he was able to spawn the Capsarius. In fact, what I'm going to actually do is just because I messed up. I signed. We're going to TP back, regen a little bit. Yeah, other than the fact that it means I have to click on something separately, actually just killing the Capsarius seems like a perfectly adequate solution. Hey, let's go! Ascension Signet 3. Let's go. We're at 3. All right. Awkward. We did, in fact, sign, however. We got our Ascension Signet 3. So, I guess we got what we're here for in terms of me getting drops, at least to begin with. So, yeah. That's Secundus. Awkward. I didn't do a very good job, but we still take those. Those all in there. I am depositing things one at a time for a reason. We can actually leave our Ascension shard here. Might as well. Because we're just going to grab 10 Quartus Keystones. All right. So let's open our strategies back up. We'll go back to our browser again. Zoom back in. I really hate that Zoom is browser tied and not tied to specific pages. But next we're doing Quartus. Okay, so Quartus will teleport you closer to him at 75, 50, and 25% life points. So this is the reason that Devotion is on my bar. Specifically because if he pulls me in and I start taking damage, I'm going to try and Devotion. Other than that, it's the exact same as every other one. That's kind of it. I think just staying a little farther away from him when I'm fighting him is really the key. Staying a little farther away so when he pulls you in, he doesn't pull you into an active lightning. That seems to be what the solution is. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We've got our Quartus Keystones. We've got all the same stuff we had before. Let's go get it. We're going to use this same let's switch back to a usual bar because I don't need to worry about AoEs anymore. He doesn't spawn stuff. So we can use our more ideal bar. This is, I think, my ideal bar for here. Oh, ow. Interesting. He seems to throw his lightning attacks a little differently. I think because of his changing your position a lot, he seems to throw them out a little different. Where's the door? There it is. Not too bad though. I mean, I think I was correct where the answer is basically just stay a little farther away so that when he does pull you in, Oh, luckily I did enough damage to him that he actually pulled me away from where he was going to teleport me to. Or instead of teleporting me closer to him, he actually pushed me away. This is definitely a higher damage one, though. Yeah, this is very much like a... I think of all of the bosses, this one you benefit the most from running Enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets and Fleeting Boots. Being able to attack him with thresholds and stuff while he's moving, or while you're moving, dodging his attacks, is definitely ideal. 4 more. I realize I probably should have reset my sign cooldown, but I don't think it matters too much anymore now that death is a lot cheaper. There we go. There's Quartus. We did not get a signet, unfortunately. How dare the game not be extremely nice to me and drop a signet in my first 10 kills. But there we go. That is Quartus. And that's a mistake. All right. So Quintus. It is apparently suggested that you have a lot of food, so I'm going to fill up for Quintus. All right, so back to our trusty browser. So Quintus will spawn giant lasers at the same percentages, so 75, 50, and 25% HP. Basically, just don't stand on them. I've done QBD. Apparently, they're similar to the QBD ones, where if you stand next to them and then walk over them, it doesn't do the damage. I think this is kind of just don't step on the big magic lines that do damage. That seems to be most of what we're trying to do here. So let's go give it a try. Now. Interesting. So yeah, I have to walk onto them directly and then walk over them. You can't just run past them, which I think is the same as QBD. It's been a while since I've done any QBD. That one spawned. That one did deal some damage to me. Oh. Okay, so our mistake there was pathing fucked me up. Walked me right along the thing. That was not fun. All right, note to self, actually reset sign cooldown when I sign. But yeah, so it seems to be... It's definitely important that you don't, like, it's I think more important to not take damage at this than it is at anything else I've done here. So, it happens. So yeah, Quintus seems to be the hardest. I'll say that much for sure. Alright, let's get back into it. I think this is another one where I want to keep devotion, if possible, on standby. Doing much better at this one. That is really annoying that walking through them from any other distance does damage. I think this is one where using manual might help a little bit more. Why did I take 2,000 there? There's no way I was on that for a tick. On the line, at least. Oh, we signed, didn't we? Yeah, those lines will sneak up on you. Quintus is definitely the hardest. See, I don't think... It feels like there isn't really an ideal or a proper way to not get hit by those. Like, I feel like when I do walk up to them and then walk over them the way that you're supposed to, I just still get hit. I think you're right. I think surging through them is probably the ideal. It's a very... what's the word I'm looking for? It's not very forgiving in terms of your timing. Like, if you're in there for even just a more than one tick, if you're in there, he will damage you. God, yeah, especially in terms of when he sets up the line with respect to when you attack him, it is not very forgiving. I'm getting a better hang of it, though. We definitely did better on those later ones. All right. Oh, just in time. Right as my overload was in and out. Yeah, no, I know that it's max 3 lines because it's at each 75, 50, and 25. It's just a matter of the timings definitely feel very tight in compared to like when he hits the threshold and when he does the attack. It's a very tight timing between those two, and it feels difficult to balance. I'm actually going to drop the X-Cal. I don't think I'm going to use it very much. All right, and last is Sextus. Let's fill up our inventory. Fill up our yak. And head back to our browser tab. And Sextus does not have a unique attack. He just has longer lasting AoEs that are larger. I think you just kind of treat him the same way. You just stay slightly farther away and basically don't treat him any different. That seems to be my knowledge of it. I think he's on the easier side, at least in terms to Quintus and Tertius. Let's go get him. Yes, I think just making sure that we're moving farther every time we move, which I'm kind of already doing because I'm not doing a super good job, I guess. Really, I'm kind of doing poorly at some of these. Yeah, it's exactly as I expected. It's big AoEs. Got to move slightly farther every time I'm doing a movement. Ow. Yeah, I think this one's pretty simple. And there we go. Ooh, 2 Serenic scales. Too bad they're worth nothing anymore. Perfect timing, right as our stuff runs out. So, that is 10 kills each at each of Tertius, Quartus, Quintus, and Sextus. Oh, man, my Latin is non-existent. So let's take a look and see what we've got. Jonas collections. We have 1 through 3. Unfortunately, we need to grind 4 through 6 a little bit more before we can make our first crafted Ascension crossbows. Obviously, I have Ascensions. I bought them. But 172 kills for having just started them yesterday or the day before. That's pretty good for me. I usually am very slow. And yeah, we're just going to keep killing them. But for the YouTube video, since I'm recording this for the YouTube video, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. But that's about it. I'll do another one of these soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.